Hey, it's Craig. You may recognize me as Stuttering Craig from way back in the old internet days. Good to see you. Thanks so much if you are popping in, being a new subscriber after our massive growth the last few days, 27,200 subscribers. Do me a favor, say hi in the chat. Guys, thank you very much. New subscribers are always welcome. What can you expect from this channel? We look back on classic internet videos. We look back on the classic internet and just give you a time and a place to kind of take a step back, have a little nostalgia, and just hang out with me for 10, 15 minutes every few days, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So if you're new, subscribe. Greatly appreciate that. A lot of great comments on the last video. Amazing stuff. You guys really seem to enjoy the look back on the top 20 SNES games. Amazing stuff with a record number of super thankers. Thank you very much to the 6 of you who super thanked in that video. Can we get to 7? I don't know. We'll find out. You can super thanks down below. But those super thankers are Backyard TARDIS. Thank you very much, Backyard TARDIS. Carlos, Natalie. Thank you very much. Shane Bentley, greatly appreciate the support. Travis, Evan, and Lauren on a great little streak right there. Super thanking down in the videos. Greatly appreciate that. Okay, so today we are taking a look at a web series that I think is pretty iconic in the landscape of internet creation and online content. When you think of early creators online who really set the table for everything that's happening right now on YouTube, on the internet, web series, to where it's no longer web series, they're just series online. I think of content creators like Mega64. I think Mega64 was way ahead of the game. They were making videos before making videos was cool. They were way before Screw Attack. I've loved Rocco and the guys over there for a long time. Those guys are outstanding. And I just think of the world of them, right? But I also think the world of these guys. I'm talking about Pure Ownage, or as I used to call, Pure Pwnage, right? Because I didn't know any better. But Pure Ownage was a web series that was released in 2007, produced up in Canada. Now, when you look at the video on YouTube, it has like 350,000 views, right? 330 something, whatever, of episode 1. That's one of the most viewed things on the series. But the legacy of this series, you got to remember, a lot of the views from this series came way before YouTube existed. This is one of those series that was it was kind of like Red vs. Blue, right? Where people would take the videos, they would download the videos, then they would share the videos with their friends, right? They would send them a hard drive or something along those lines. And it was a different time in internet making. So this video, while it has 300-something thousand views on YouTube, probably has well over like millions of views and just the cultural impact in the video game space. There's a character in the series called FPS Doug, who, if you've ever heard the phrase "boom headshot," that's where this series came from, or that's where that phrase came from. Well, not that, I guess in the lexicon of the internet space. So there's the big intro. We're going to watch this video. If you guys do enjoy this, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to the channel, because this is what we do here on the channel. I appreciate you guys. Got a great little community. I love it. Let's get into this thing. Pure Ownage, episode 1. This is just called Life of a Pro Gamer. Oh, I do want to talk about this real quick. Pro gaming didn't exist like it is today. This wasn't like a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar industry. This was something that was very fringe in the world. If you were a pro gamer, you were like, the idea of making a living as a pro gamer was non-existent at this time. It was a pipe dream. So it's just kind of funny. We'll see how different it is in 2007 compared to 15 years later, which obviously it's worlds different. But let's get into this bad boy. All right. By the way, notice the 4x3. That's the square, not the 16x9.
Okay.
Do I have this at double speed? I do, 1.5. We're going to slow this down a little bit. That's how I watch my videos. I watch all my videos at 1.5 speed.
Tanner, you're doing a show.
Off me. No.
Gamer
Tanner,
Stereotypes
we're
here.
doing the show today.
I want to show.
You said you'd do the show.
Dude, you're not Scorsese, man. You're just a noob.
Jared, if you don't get up, Mom's gonna freak.
Mom's like a noob, man. Wait about Mom. Mom's like using like a 3-dozer build.
When was the last time that you used the word noob? I always felt like noob was one of those phrases that like a 12-year-old used, It was mockable, and I think that's obviously what this is. It's kind of like a mockumentary almost.
I am the ownage, bitches.
How stupid. A lot of pelvic thrusts. That's a pretty natural thing.
Ownage.
life of a pro gamer? I'm gonna bring this down just a little bit.
It's a tough life sometimes, right? Like, you just gotta, like, you're always on the go, right? And, like, you know, some people, like, you know, they get up and they, like, go to work and stuff, right? But, you know, that's not very stressful, right? They just, like, go to a job. You know, I gotta make sure, you know, I'm still number one, right? I gotta practice, and, you know, it's just not easy sometimes, you know? You're up all night owning noobs, and then expect you to get up, you know? Why are you on the floor, man?
Dude, it's a cool shot.
I don't know. Yeah.
Kubrick. It's like Kubrick.
Who's Kubrick?
Like Malcolm McDowell style Kubrick.
You're such a noob sometimes, Kyle.
So what I love about this right now is obviously they're making it very self-aware that, that this is not like a show like Name Tags that was on Screw Attack. It was a show. They weren't conscious of the camera. They're very conscious of it. They're very self-aware, which I love right here. And I also appreciate, you know, obviously tons of stereotypes early on when it comes to, you know, the pro gamer, but a lot of that still holds true. I mean, my thing about stereotypes is they're always, most of the time, they're rooted in truth. You know, they became stereotypes somehow, right? I personally don't think stereotypes are a really bad thing. I think they're just something to laugh at, which is, you know, I think you should laugh at all sorts of stuff. Let's continue to laugh at the stereotypes of being a pro gamer.
Okay, it's like my show. Just gonna make the show. You know, I'm like the star, and stuff, right? And like
Uber
and my
gamer.
roommate Kyle's like on the camera. Like you can't see him because he's like holding it and like pointing at me and stuff. My name's Jeremy. You might know me as like the owner, cause like, you know, that's like what I do. I guess the point of like the show and stuff is to like kind of like you know, it's just to kind of like help people, you know, like own noobs. Most people are noobs.
You know what I really appreciate about this is that within like the first minute, they established that Kyle, his friend, is like or his brother is wants to be a filmmaker, right? And they have him doing all these stupid shots where they're looking up at him right here, and the camera's clearly down here, and it's so dumb. But they established that early on. It's pretty genius.
Right? Like a lot of people think that, right? And it's true. And so I saw, you know, we make the show, and you know, we help them out, you know, by showing what I do and how I do it. Like I don't like just rip strats. I've got, you know, I like make them up, right? Sometimes I'm like 4 workers that way, right? And then like 3 workers that way, right? Instead of like 2 and 3, right? Which like other people are like doing right now. And you know, I kill you with 1 technical, right? Because like, you know, I just got the micro. Are you actually there? Should I talk about like how you're there and stuff?
I have no idea what he's talking about right now, which is I love that.
I should like, you're such a noob. Man, there's pressures. It's all, you know, it's a high stress lifestyle for
Looking up.
you know, like no money. You know, I just do it for the love. Lol. Lol. That's like a joke, right? That's like a joke. This is my computer here. You know, it's pretty good.
Hey, what's your computer look like compared to this today? I have 3 monitors. I have one here, and one over here. Why do I have 3 monitors? I don't need 3 monitors. Look at how thick that thing is, man. That is awesome.
I am, you know, I bought it myself and stuff.
Oh, there you go.
That's how I got it. The Kyle bought his camera too, that's how he got it. So, you know, if you want to be like pro, right? Like when you get up in the morning, like, you know, you gotta check CNC Replays like first. I like knowing people and stuff.
CNC Replays?
Like, you know, like jobs and stuff like that. You know, they wake up in the morning and they watch like CNN replays and stuff. And you know, I just don't really like that because I think that's kind of fake, right? Like on CNN, it's just like kind of like what the journalist like thought like happened, right? You watch like a replay, right? Like on CNC Replays, and you know, that's what like really happened, right? You get the whole you know, like you know, like perspective and stuff. But on TV.
Man, what a time capsule this is. This is amazing. Like, this is so fun to go back and look at. wow, this is so like you look. Obviously, the way this is shot and the giant computer and him talking about CNC replays, it's amazing, amazing.
All they show is like, they'll just show a burnt out Humvee, and you're like, what happened to the Humvee? You know, you're all like, where's the RPGs? It's all about like terrorists in the bush and stuff, and I'm like, I'd rather see a good GLA game, right? You know, sometimes I think like USA is kind of noob, right? Oh, USA, oh, I guess they like curled up for like 50 years, and then they moved into their
So much
afterwards.
slang.
It's like total noobs, right? Sometimes I'll
So much leet speak it's being thrown out. I love it.
like just 0 hour discussions, right? And you'll find top USA players. Lol. Lol.
Hey, how many of you know somebody who actually says lol in real life instead of actually laughing out loud? Lol. God damn it.
Oh, reply. Oh. Gotta make your replies like quick, right? Like, lol, raw for lol. Noob, fag, lol.
Oh! Product of the time, right? Oh, go cancel them now. Cancel. Screw that, man. Let's go. You offended somebody in 2007. Urgh. Fuck off.
Because, you know, it's like RTS. It's just about, like, thinking, right? You know, I'm always, like, making strats and stuff. You know, I get up in the morning. Sometimes, you know, I get, like, all, like, philosophically on, you know? You just gotta wonder, like, you know, there's so many noobs in the world, right? And, like, you know, like, how many have I owned?
Look at how he's dressed. That's so mid-2000s. Amazing.
Own noobs.
I own noobs. That's it. You know what I love about this? I love that they actually had to bust out like a real camera. This wasn't somebody on their phone at the time. You know, this is somebody with a real camera going out. And that was a big deal 15 years ago. Setting up a camera on a tripod here.
Like the big, like, smoked meat sandwiches. It's only for pros. Like, it's like a pro meal, right? Just from talking about. Right now.
Ownage. A lot of his spellings. This is a big thing for them. The spelling of the is te. Being self-aware, I love it. Stuff on the lens, love it.
I don't have like any money or nothing, but I just like to get my micro up, you know? When I start winning tournaments, right? Can't waste time with the bank.
So how listen, look, this is so funny. He's acknowledging it. It's so good. And on top of that, like it's almost prophetic how much he knew, like, or how much they wished. Now these are full-time positions for people that are like actually younger than him. That he's probably what, early 20s in this, right? 18, 19-year-old kids who are pros. It's insane.
Seems like, you know, there's like it's like a bunch of noobs here, right? You'll get this a lot sometimes, right? Like, what happens is that, like, people get all upset because China Imp's so overpowered, right? You see these people over here, man. Take a look at these people over here, right? I'm just gonna go over and let them know that really they just have to counter them with like toxin, right? Get some rebels, some quads, and some RPGs to crack the shell, right? It's no worries. So I'm just gonna go clear this up, or I'll be right back.
I have no idea what he's saying, but it's still funny. Without getting into politics, who are they yelling at? They got to be outside some sort of embassy, right?
They're like, hey, man, like China Imp's like way overpowered, like $1,000 AOs, man, like $1,000 AOs. It's totally ridiculous, right? That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, clearly they
I
are.
think what they want, what I think I'm getting at is that they want the INF army replaced by like maybe a Tibetan army in the game. China INF is for noobs. China INF is for noobs. See, here we got the admins, right? And the admins are totally on our side too, right? They're just making sure that, you know, like, it doesn't get out of hand, right? Because, like, you know, maybe people start talking foul language or something, right? And then the admins, they'll come in, they'll close it down, right?
So
You know,
funny.
you just have a duty, right? Like, as a pro gamer, you know, you just gotta do what you do. It's like, you know, it's not really like noobs' fault that they're noobs, right? It's like, you know, they're just like noobs, right?
What's amazing about this, there's so, like, you obviously can tell they know what they're talking about. They know the source material, right? I have no idea what he's talking about. And these references are probably 15 years old at this point. Some may still hold up. Please tell me in the comments if they do. But it's honestly, it's when you have creators who know the source material of what they're creating, like it's night and day. Like, you can't get a Hollywood writer to come in and create this. Only if they grew up in that lifestyle can they build around it. I love it. I love it.
I like dogs and stuff. I kind of miss them because, you know, they used to be like an RA2, right? And I always thought that they should like put them back in gens and stuff. And I was really good at like microing them. She's joined the protest, right, against China INF, but she thinks dogs should be put in. That would be a good counter, and I think it's not a bad idea, right?
This is all impromptu. And nothing of that was planned. They just went out in character.
You know what I'm talking about? She'd totally date me, man. Like, she knew like the skills I had, you know. She'd be like all over me, right? I get that a lot, though, you know. So I kind of like actually get anything, but if I'm like micro on like 3 fronts, right, then they're gonna know, right? I think I know how that translates, right? She wants me, man. She's like following me now and stuff, right? I get that a lot. Sometimes I just like to walk, right?
So
Just
toxic.
kinda, like around, cause like, you know, it's like keeps you grounded, right? Cause like sometimes, you know, I feel like playing the Clan Wars, right? And you win like a whole bunch of games in a row, right? You just kind of forget the little people sometimes. You know, like,
Just keep this in mind as you're watching this. None of this was planned. They just went out with a camera and they're making all this up as they go along. Like, this is the pilot. This is the first episode of this whole thing. And they just went out with the camera and made it happen. I love it. I love it.
like not many noobs like know this, but like when Westwood was like designing like RA2, right? They would they draw maps out like in the sand, right? So sometimes when I'm like working on some strats, maybe like a new build order or something, right? I'll like come to the sandbox too, and I'll like you know, like draw it up in the sand, kind of like Westwood.
All impromptu.
What are you doing?
It's an establishment shot.
What's establishment? Dude, what's establishment? Is that like a camera thing? Look, I'm like a smart guy, right? You know, sometimes people ask me, you know, like, what's your religion and stuff, and I'm like, you know, it's like RTS, and they're like, what's that? And I'm like, you know, it's kind of like Buddhism. You know, some religions, they're all like get in there and like kill people, right? They're kind of like first-person shooters, right? They're just like about getting in there and killing people and stuff. And then there's some religions that are just like, you know, give us all your money and your time and stuff, right? So they're kind of like MMORPGs, you know? Not much there, just like lots of money. And, you know, I just think Buddhism, it's kind of like sit back and think a lot, right? So I'd say I'm a Buddhist. Yeah, I'm a Buddhist.
Like, I am looking back on this now. I'm impressed by the guy who plays, who plays. What's his name? His name Kyle? I don't remember. But either way, I'm impressed by him. I didn't even remember his name, but I'm impressed by him, his ability to just kind of whip it up on the fly and come up with these things. Like, they didn't go and be like, well, let's talk about religion. No, they saw a Buddhist guy and they went out and he just whipped it up on the fly. Amazing, amazing.
Still following me? Kyle, we've been filming me walk up and down the street, dude, for like 10 minutes.
No, man, I'm getting a good shot here. Yeah.
He's the owner.
I think like
That's
you're
right.
gonna get the idea, right? I'm like walking.
No, man, this is like Travolta, like Saturday Night Fever style.
Oh, man.
Wants to be a filmmaker.
Travolta's kind of like a noob though in that movie, don't you think?
Going straight into Travolta, walking, yeah. 420.
You know, that's pretty much what I gotta say.
gotta get to work now and gotta start owning some noobs. Kind of feel myself noobifying already, right? Kind of losing it, so put up some gens and you know, if you see me online, maybe be like lucky enough to like be owned by me, right? You know, who knows? Because you gotta keep your skills up, right?
Gotta keep your skills up. There it is. There's our website. You see, episode 2 is just called Girls. So there you go. That's episode 1 of Pure Ownage. I like to stop and talk about things as they come to mind. So if I stop and talk too much while watching these things, please tell me in the comments. But at the end of the day, I don't really care because I'm gonna just give you guys my perspective on things. So if you would like to see episode 2 of Pure Ownage, if you'd like to see me do a reaction of it, I would love to do it raw. I have not watched it, but I can only imagine the amount of things that are in an episode called Girls from 2007 about video games, which would be amazing. I love it. I love it. I love how deep with references it is. I love how ridiculous and over the top it is with Kyle wanting to be a filmmaker and how he's trying to be pretentious. I love how they went out and filmed and they made a show. And once again, this was episode 1. Usually the first episode is fully thought out. No, it's like, hey, we got this idea and we're gonna that whole thing probably took, I don't know, an afternoon to shoot, and it became a thing. They eventually made a movie out of this, which is amazing. You think about that. And they expanded on the characters. They had the FPS Doug character who's coming in later on down the line. So I would love to hear your thoughts on Pure Ownage. And also, what other internet series should we go back and look on that may have been forgotten about? We've looked at Pop Fiction. We've looked at Pure Ownage. Obviously, Screw Attack stuff. Please let me know in the comments. I read those comments. Every single comment that comes in, I read. I try to respond to as many as possible. So once again, if you are new, thumbs up, subscribe, greatly appreciate it. We'll see you guys Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays around noon o'clock. You guys have a great day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. See you guys later. Bye-bye.